Alright, this is just another update on my SHY20, the Huayee SHY20. And I love this machine. Looks like I'm going to have it for a long time, so I decided to, customize it for my needs. And first thing I did is I showed you a while back that Vevor had, I was able to get a seat from them that had a switch built into it, operator presence. And I'm going to wire that in and add it to it. So I removed the existing seat already and the tracks off the bottom of it, and I switched them over to the Vevor seat. I started by using the existing spacers and everything. They did line up nice, so it was a little pain getting at the bolts on the old seat, but everything fit. And you can see snow's all gone and mud's starting to dry up, so plows are coming off. But first thing I did is I tried putting that in there, and it is an extremely tight fit. It's like you need a shoehorn to get it in there, but it does fit, and it is a really nice seat. So I got it screwed in, sat on it with the spacers, and I said, nope, this is too high. My head almost hit the roof. So I'm just going to pull it out and pull the spacers out, plus move the tracks forward so it'll go fully back. And I'm just it's really a simple thing. It did bolt right up and everything. And I do like these original tracks better than the Vevor tracks because they have double locks on them. So there, I did move it all the way up. So let's bolt that back in place. Just the existing 4 bolts, everything works. Run the wire around the side here that came with the seat switch. And this will be wired into the console on the side there. And also, I always had a hard time with these thumb nuts up here to get the seat to dip forward. So I had some extra stainless screws left over from the seat, and I just decided to use them with some big washers to make it easier, so I can use a tool on it like this. And then I pulled the switches out, and I was just going to add a relay in here. I just have a standard automotive relay that I had, and I'm going to wire this into the green and yellow wire just to break that when you get up out of the seat. And that way I won't affect the machine operation, the interlocks and stuff that are ahead of this. So just a little sketch of exactly what I did. I cut the green-yellow wire, ran it through the switch part on the relay, and I ran the coil to the actual seat switch. And one thing I found when I took it apart was Huayee took a shortcut, and they just wrapped the strobe light wire around his terminal before they stuck it in the connector. So I fixed everything, got that all soldered back together, and got the relay wired in there, installed some positive plus 12 volts off another wire there just for the to operate the coil through the seat switch. Time to take and drill a hole. I had one of these waterproof feed throughs that I'm going to put in here, get the wire in there and strain relief it. Pulled the wire in there, and what I didn't realize when I did this, I made it too short. That seat has to flip up, so I should have just left a lot more wire sticking out. I'll have to fix that later, but that's one thing you want to watch for when to get at the oil, to change the oil and get in there. You need that wire long enough to flip the seat all the way up. And it's just a matter of tightening that up and drilling another hole to mount the relay. The relay bracket comes with a tab on it there for mounting, you can see. And then I just took a stainless steel socket head cap screw and a nut and a washer on the inside. And I'll put some links in the description to this stuff just in case you want to, attempt this. Probably doesn't bother everybody, but, I just jump off the machine randomly when I'm filming and stuff like that, and I wanted to have the extra level of safety there. And then just pop back in so you don't even know that anything's really been changed on it when you look at it. That took a lot less time than I expected it to. So that went good. And then I decided while I'm at it, I'm going to add a toolbox to the back. I had some 3/8 by 2 hot rolled steel bar I decided to use to, I'm going to drill some mounting holes and taps for the box. And I'm going to use these 3 roll bar mounts back here. And I do have some high strength socket head cap screws that I had that I'm going to use just to replace the existing hardware. It wasn't quite long enough. And I figured this is just a simple way to mount a box that won't actually cause me to damage the machine. No extra holes or anything. And I did have this tool, just a wall toolbox I originally was going to use, but when I looked at it, I just didn't like it. It wasn't really big enough for what I wanted, and it just didn't look good on there. So I just made sure everything fit, got some measurements, and I went on Vevor actually, and I ordered a diamond plate toolbox for back there. I'll show you in a little while. But this is it. Basically fits on there. Sandblasted those brackets and painted them with some just some spray paint I had laying around. So they don't look too bad now. And I did have some rubber 16th thick rubber strips that I had from another job that I decided I'm going to put between the box and the mounts there, just for just similar metal and vibrations and stuff like that. So this is the box I ordered from Vevor. Came in a couple days, and boy, it's beautiful. I really was impressed by it. I'll put some links down in the description to this stuff. So now it's time to get it mounted. And I'm going to put these rubber strips on first. And like I said, they're probably not really required. You could probably just put some silicone caulking down there or something just to prevent any future vibrations or similar metal items. But I had this in it, it worked out nice. And then I put a roll bar clamp up there with another bolt that's going to hold the back up, so it'll be mounted good. Now, a while back, a company had sent me a set of these step drills. They're a new type step drill to try and use, and I've been playing with them, and I really do like them for thinner material. If you're going to drill sheet metal, thin aluminum, plastic, or anything like that, that's really tough to drill with where it has breakout and stuff like that. These drills are great for that, and they're also good for transfer drilling holes too, like this. I just do the drill that fit in the threads, and I got a little drill point in there. They don't walk. They they really work good. So as long as you're not going to be drilling thick steel with them, I definitely like how they work, and I'll put a link to them. But you can see they do drill this aluminum nice. There's no grabbing at the end or anything, and no big burrs, and they just go through like a bigger step drill, and they do not walk when you're drilling. So pretty neat set of drills, and I just thought I'd show them to you because I do like them. And then I had some rubber washers, and I'm just going to mount this to the to that bracket with some stainless screws, socket head or button head cap screws there, and that way I shouldn't have any leaks, shouldn't have any vibrations or anything else, and it'll be easy to remove if I want to take it off later. So it didn't take that long to really mount this on there, and one thing left to do is to go back and drill through those roll bar mounts. You can see it's really nice toolbox for the price. I was amazed. And I did remove those chains in the end. I'll show you, later on in the video. But really nice toolbox. It fit on there nice, and I think it's going to be perfect. And I did put some padding in there too to avoid a lot of banging and rattling. And it does fit that toolbox plus everything else that I want to put in there. So I'm happy with that. And I did put a magnet on the top. I'll show you in the end where to hold the lid open. Now it's time to just drill through those roll bar mounts to get the two, upper back mounts in place. And that was it. Really simple. No real mods to the machine, but I feel it's going to be useful. And again, I put rubber washers on both sides of that just to seal it. So that's the upper bolts here. Okay, then I just passed 20 hours on the machine last fall when I put it away, so I decided time to do an oil change. And you can see the oil did its job. It did turn quite dark. This happens on new diesel engines till they're broken in a while. So it's just common that, you know, the oil's working and it gets dark. Went to the Kubota dealer. This is the number filter that they gave me for it. So I want to use the actual Kubota filters. I had to move that fuel pump out of the way to get in there because the original filter is painted on. So it did take a little bit of work to get that off because I didn't have the correct wrench. And also the drain takes a 22 millimeter that's easy to access. So that's what the filter looked like after I got done with it. Wound up using these guys, and this is the oil I use in all my diesel engines now. And here's where, when you flip the seat up, here's where that wire is a little bit short. I had to put a foam block to keep it up there. But let's get the oil in there and, you know, start it up and let it run for a little while. And these are just amazing little diesel engines. These things will run forever if they're cared for. Now I took the oil, put it in a drain, transferred it to a drain tank for recycling, and I did notice there were some specks of little specks of stuff in the bottom of it. So definitely was time to change, and it didn't really look like metal though. So, and then another thing I did is I decided to do a spring mod everybody says to do. So I took some measurements, went on Amazon and found a set of springs that fit there. The controls are pretty smooth on this, but being a new operator and the old armrests were kind of hard to use, and you could get jerky at times when like with the boom going down. Sometimes my arm would start shaking and, you know, would get a little jerky. So I decided to try these to see if they'd stiffen it up a little bit. And I did move that bracket around his side out of the way, and this gives me a better view down at the gauges there too. And one last thing I did was added some work lights to the front. I wanted lights that I could turn on and off without having the machine running. And these are just some small LED work lights. I added a connector to that end of the wire there. And I'm waiting for some more wire to come before I finish them up. But just wanted to show you that I use those roll bar mounts from Nylite. And this is just a set of Nylite lights that I found on Amazon. That was not a real powerful one because I don't want them to draw a lot of electric, but I did want the switch on them. So that's it, and let's take it outside and see how everything works. All right, first thing I do is put everything in this toolbox, and I do have room for the existing toolbox, which I've got some more stuff in to kind of keep all that together. And then I've got some piece of chain. I ran into a problem where I had to run up to the shop and get a chain one time, so I wanted some chain in there, and a roll of paper towels and some tools to swap the bucket out and, you know, knock the pins in and out and stuff, because I really don't like that quick connect. It kind of, you lose power with it, and just it makes it so the thumb doesn't line up or anything. So I just, you know, throw some tools in there to be able to swap buckets and stuff, and also some gloves. And here's a magnet that I put on there. It's actually a gun magnet, and I wound up having to put a piece of foam up there because it's stuck so tight. That little foam gives it a gap, so it's just perfect to, you know, just hold it up there and make it easy to break free. So that's what it looks like. The seat is a very, very tight fit. That's all I can say, and it does look really nice on there. The lights are on there. Everything's ready to go. I do have the quick connect on here now. You can see because I put the rake on. I've got to clean up some areas to start out with, and I decided to just, you know, use that for now. And I am still waiting for some wire to finish up wiring these in, but everything's. Oh yeah, I added another playground handle up here using the last set of those clamps that I had for getting on and off. It makes it easier for me to get on and off just having that smaller handle right there. And there you can see it's a lot easier for me to jump on. And oh, this seat is nice. It's so comfortable. My head is getting kind of close to the top, you can see there, but oh, it's suspension, it's soft, and the back is adjustable. I like it, and you can see it gives me more leg room. My legs aren't kinked up. They're kind of laying down and stretched out, and I got plenty of room to use the pedals, and the seat switch works perfect. There you can see. Everything moves. The minute you get up off the seat, it stops, sit down, and it moves again. So that worked out really good. I'm very happy with that. And I do actually like those springs on the control. They give you a little more feedback as you start moving, because the first little bit of movements does nothing. So it takes, sometimes you go too fast, and these actually do give you a little resistance, and they don't make much of a difference, but I do like them. And there you can see I can get my foot up on the pedal there and stuff without my knees being up in my face. And everything does seem a little easier to control. Actually, these armrests are nice. They need to be a little bit wider, but your arms go right down the outside of them, giving you really good stability on the controls. That probably is going to help too. But as you can see, I am sitting a lot higher in here, so anybody that's short wouldn't even want to think about this. And it is a very tight fit getting the seat in. So, and I'm not sure it's as weatherproof as the existing seat that came on the machine. But for me, this is, I'm really happy with it. It's perfect. It's so comfortable. So, everything, it's easier to use those levelers. I mean, change those foot pedals around a little bit too to move them out a little bit further, and put toe grabs to make it go back. I don't know, I'm still thinking about that. But oh yeah, I'm much more comfortable now. Have more leg room, and I do have the interlock there, so I can jump off. And even if I forget to turn the other switch on, everything works. So I just wanted to do an update here and show you the couple of little things I did just to customize this and make it mine, because I do like it. It's going to be around a long time. So this is it, and I'm really happy with everything that I purchased. So I'll put some links down there in the description, should you be interested in anything. And that grab handle surprised me how handy it is. I really do like that. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.